Last week, we were jealous. But why? We already have it. It. The thing you were jealous of. You already have what you need. Don't you believe me? Let's talk about it. Hey everyone, my name is Andrew Geis. Welcome to Anything Goes, A Journey Home. A place for you to feel connected and a place for you to feel encouraged. Philippians 4:19 says, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." Jehovah Jireh. It means the Lord will provide. It's essential for us to actually believe this, though. So essential. As I said in my last episode, when we doubt what God is capable of doing for us, but also doubt that he might actually provide for us, we are in serious trouble. We need to put our full reliance in his goodness, his faithfulness, his generosity, and trust that he is going to provide all of our needs. It says in Philippians 4:19, "And my God will meet all your needs according to the riches of his glory in Christ Jesus." Now, this is not me saying that you're going to get rich quick. This podcast is a perfect example of it. I'm not getting rich off this thing, but I love doing it. So what is it you need? Or should I say, what is it you believe you need for this journey that you're on? This life journey that you're on. What do you need for your goals? What do you need for your vision? What do you need for your dreams? I know the easy answer is, I need money. If I just had this much money, I could make so much happen for my dreams and my future. But in this context, I'm talking about, what is the skill set that you're missing? What is the thing in your life, that tool that you're missing, that if you just had that one tool, you could just go the distance? For me, the answer is simply Jesus. He is my foundation for all that I need on this journey called life. As I said, the easy answer to the question, what do you need for this journey that you're on, is money, obviously. I think most of us would say that if we're being honest. But listen to what it says in Romans 8:31-32. "What then shall we say in response to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? He who did not spare his own son, but gave him up for us all, how will he not also along with him graciously give us all things?" When I hear that verse, my thoughts of finances kind of go away. Because the truth is God created me. He created you. He created us with the brains that we have. With, as a famous actor once said, a particular set of skills that makes a danger to men like you. Okay, maybe that was a terrible impression. But the truth is the skills we're talking about, you're not a danger to those around you, but perhaps an asset to those around you. At least I hope you're not a danger to those around you. The truth is that God has given each of us skills. He's already blessed us with skills, and they come from this wonderful, beautiful thing God called a brain within us, and he created within us. And it's so short-sighted of us to just think that if I just had this much money, we could do such great things. But that implies that we are not great ourselves. We are not capable of doing great things without something else. It's just simply not true. If we look at the world around us, we have skyscrapers as tall as we could have imagined. We have bridges that go over great distances. We have tankers that cross the ocean. We have battleships. We have a whole host of different things that have been created through the imagination and brains that God has given us and afforded us to create these kinds of things. But again, how short-sighted of us to think that money is what it's going to take. Because God also has given us this day, this moment, right now, the very life journey you are on right now is an opportunity for you and something that you already have right now for you to seize the moment and go after it 100%. To take the first steps into what he has envisioned for your life or what he has created within you as a vision for your life. Luke 6:37 through 39 says, "Do not judge and you will not be judged. Do not condemn and you will not be condemned. Forgive and you will be forgiven. Give and it will be given to you. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over will be poured into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured to you." He also told them this parable: "Can the blind lead the blind? Will they not both fall into a pit?" If you're an artist, or you're a musician like myself, or you're a speaker or a podcaster, whatever skill set is necessary for your dreams, goals, and visions for your life, are you practicing them? Are you actively engaging with them? Mind you, as a musician, I've come to discover that practice is not always sitting down at the piano, practicing your scales every single hour, every single minute of every single day. No, that's only part of it. Just simply stepping up to the keyboard and practicing is an immense effort of practice. Being intentional with that practice is also very important. If I don't take time to correct the mistakes, I might just continue to practice and keep making mistakes and getting really good at making mistakes. But also, practicing and correcting those mistakes is not always stopping every single time you make a mistake. Sometimes it's barreling through it, doing your very best to get through it and pulling it off. Now, that might not always work in the performance setting, speaking from experience. But in your practicing time, when you're alone, it does apply, and it creates a skill set within you to be able to overcome the obstacles when you are performing live, to have the courage to just keep going when a mistake happens, because that's an unpracticed skill set that you might need to have in your life. And the truth is, are you practicing the skills that you need for your vision for your life or for the journey that you're on right now? For your goals, for your dreams, those skills that you need. And truthfully, if we think it's just one skill, again, we're being short sighted. If we think it's the skill of having a lot of money or having enough money, if we think it's the skill of, in my context, just playing piano well, it's kind of short sighted to think that that's the only skill set I need to be a good worship leader. I actually have to be a good singer. I have to be able to play and sing. Those are different skill sets. I have to be good at talking in front of people to be able to manage a transition from one song to the next if it's needed. Again, another skill set that I need to have. And I have to practice them every single day, every single week. It's not just something I just show up and do sometimes. The truth is the skills that we use for our dreams, our visions, our journey, our life, our goals, they're just tools that we have right now that help us to engage in the process of the journey towards the dream, towards the goal, towards the vision that we have for our future. And as it said in the passage I shared, if we would just be simply willing to avoid judging others, condemning others, being jealous, or even coveting what others have, but then rather engage in forgiving others, as we've been forgiven as Christians, we actually set ourselves up to be in a position of being able to give what we have been given and to receive, as it says in Luke, a pouring out of a good measure. And when we use that measure that we've been given, we will be given more until it's running over and spilling into our laps. In other words, you can practice your skills and the things that you have now for the future, but you can also teach your skills to others. I've heard it said once, he who teaches learns twice. There's some truth in that. If I take the time to teach piano, I actually have to perform the skill that I'm teaching to my student. I have to be able to show them how to accomplish it. Now, truthfully, how they accomplish it is not going to be the same as how I accomplish it sometimes. They might go about it differently. They might think about it differently, but that's okay as long as they reach the same goal. The same can be said for a lot of things that we might teach as far as skill sets are concerned. So the truth is, we need to think about what we have now and how we can give it to others so that we can then receive from God more. Now, perhaps you're not a good teacher. Maybe you're not even a qualified teacher, but you need to be able to teach something. You need to be able to teach some of your skill set, because teaching that skill set then becomes another acquired skill that you can apply to your future and to your vision, to your journey, and to your goals. The other thing too is, if you still right now believe that you have something missing, a skill set that is missing from just, if I had this one thing, and again, I know the easy answer is money. If I had this one thing, I could just turn the corner and everything would be great. Let me ask you a silly, dumb question. Have you actually taken the time to search for this thing? This actual thing that you're missing? And I'm not talking about just, like my wife has told me multiple times, did you even look? When we say we're missing our car keys, did we actually look for them? So my question is, if you actually still believe that you're missing a skill set, have you actually done the searching, fearless search, the thorough search for this thing that you're missing? I've heard stories of guys in my field of work who they've received many gifts regarding equipment for musical production and things like that. And many of them, don't have that particular knowledge or skill set with that particular tool. So they kind of put it in their closet and they forget about it. Then all of a sudden, I've heard multiple stories where these individuals wind up running into an obstacle that tool that they put in their closet is exactly the tool that they would need if they simply remembered that they'd put it there. And then they'd spend a whole week searching for this tool to eventually find it after their wife said, "Did you actually look for it?" If you're struggling to believe that you have what you need right now for this journey that you're on, for the dreams that you have, for the goals, the visions, and aspirations that you have for your life, the other question is, have you asked God, the great provider, Jehovah Jireh, to provide help in you finding that thing that you're missing? As I said, He is, after all, Jehovah Jireh. The Lord will provide. So if you actually believe in God, that He cares for you, that He is good, and that He's going to provide for all of your needs, it stands to reason. And this is where I stand. I stand on Jesus. He is all that I need. He is my foundation for all that I do. When I struggle to believe that I don't have what I need to be successful, I go to God and I ask, God, what am I missing? God, help me gain this tool. I think I'm missing this. God, help me to become a better singer. God, help me to become a better piano player. Help me to become a better speaker on stage. I feel like I'm not quite there yet. Provide this for me. We have to believe that He is as good as He says He is, and that truthfully, as His created being, His Son of God, His child of God, He's already created you with everything that you need. So I want you to do something for me. Last week I shared a tool that my friends from Cageless Birds shared with us, the Honesty Tool. I want you to take some time with this tool. Write down and ask yourself this question. Have I been striving to find what I want in my own way when I already have what I need because you, God, have provided it? Take some time with this question. Take some time to pray honestly. Take some time to reflect. honestly. Take some time to cross out the lies and replace them with truths. Then take the time to exchange those truths with the lies that you've seen come out in the words that you've written. If you haven't checked out this tool, it's again from Cageless Birds Group, and I'll be sure to click a link or provide a link in the show notes below so that you can get access to it and get the much more detailed description of how the honesty tool works from Jonathan and Melissa Helser. So let's go out and do something. Thanks for listening to the podcast today, for liking and sharing. If you're watching on YouTube or listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you can get notifications anytime I take a journey. You can also go to A Guys Production to find me there. You can also find all the previous episodes and seasons from this show at ajourneyhome.blog. Don't forget to check out the socials below and in the show notes, links to my merch store and more. Be kind to each other, show faith, love, and hope to those who need it. Have a great week. I'm going home.